Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. Today I'm going to take you through a violin tutorial of Auld Syne, and it's something that here in the UK we sing literally at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day, and it's just basically about the whole year that we've just had gone, out with the old and basically just in with the new, and that's the song that we use to celebrate when the clock strikes midnight ready for the New Year's Day. So that piece is taken from this book which I've got here. It's called A Traditional Holiday and Christmas Violin Book 1. And it is a collection of 10 festive and Christmas songs with MP3 backing and performance tracks for violin. It is for beginner level and upwards, and violin tab is included for 9 out of the 10 pieces. The only one where you don't have the violin tab is Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, and that's because there aren't any lyrics to go with the Sugar Plum Fairy, so it makes it almost impossible to do the violin tab for. But for all the other 9, you have violin tab. So if you want to learn how to play Auld Syne, then grab your copy of the book, which you can get from the website above my head here or in the link directly underneath this video, and let's get going. Okay, so first of all I'm going to start with the violin tab, and if I just take you through that. So the violin tab is where you use the words to help you with the rhythm. The numbers above the words are going to indicate what fingers you're going to use on the violin, and the letters above those are going to tell you which string you're going to be using which string you're going to be putting the fingers on the violin as well. So you might notice that there's some B's, some letter B's that are dotted around the music, and it just does tell you in front of the book what the B's are for. You'll see some S's around the book as well in the violin tab. And what the B's and the S's stand for: B is for back and S is for stretched. And that's mainly indicating for where the second finger's got to be, and maybe a few other fingers as well, but mainly the second finger. So I'll put a link in the description bar directly underneath this video on another video that I've recently done on where to put the dot placements for the first, third and fourth finger. So it'll tell you the exact measurements on the violin, where you need to put the dots to indicate where you put the first, the third and the fourth finger if you want to. So because the second finger doesn't have a kind of exact placement, it can go either next to the third finger, which I would call stretched, that's why I've put an S, or it'll go backwards, back, so I've put a B, next to the first finger. So stretched, or S for stretched is next to the third, B for back will be back nearest the first finger. So again, with some of the other notes, you might have a stretched for the third finger. It just means that it's stretched. So stretched is going towards you and back is going sort of towards the pegs or away from you, hence that's why I've put back there. So what I'm going to do is take you through the first few lines of Auld Syne to get you going, and that should be enough to help you with. So to start with, should old acquaintance be forgot? So should is a third finger on the G string, and then old is a second finger on the D, but it's the second finger that's back, so it means the second finger is going to be just in front of the first finger dot. Acquaintance, and the last part of acquaintance is an open A. B is, or for B forgot, the B is a third finger on the D. Forgot is a back second finger like we did a second go. Got is a third finger on the D. Moving on to the next line, and never brought to mind. And is an open A. And then the second part of and is a third finger for the D. Never is two backs, two second finger backs. Brought is an open A. Two is a second finger back. Mind is a third finger, and that's still on the A string as well. And then basically you just carry on like that. Once you've done that, you go through to the chorus. At the end of the chorus it says repeat the verse, so you go back and do the verse, and then you move on to the last part where it says we'll take a cup, oh kindness yet, and you just follow it. So if you follow what it says on the tab, it will match exactly with what the backing track does. So I think that's everything for the tab. I don't think there's anything else that's complicated in here. Again, for the sheet music, you've just got a couple of first finger backs which you have, which is indicated in the tab as well. So there's halfway through the chorus you've got "We'll Take a Cup o' Kindness Yet." So this is looking at the tab on page 23, and you've got the first note for wheel is a 1 on the E string, and that's back. So a back 1 is going to be right up against the little ridge bit of the violin. It's called the nut, but it's almost bring your first finger back until you can feel that kind of little ridge that you've got there. So yeah, looking at the sheet music, there aren't any bowing or dynamics, because I just felt that, you know, if you were advanced enough to understand that, you could just put whatever you wanted to put in there. If not, then I didn't want you to get too bogged down with putting in the dynamics and all the bowing and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted you guys to get on and start having some fun with the festive pieces. And then the last 2 lines, there is a bit of a key change. So you don't notice the key change in the tab, because I've altered some of the notes accordingly. So you'll just play exactly what the tab tells you. But in the music, there is a little bit of a key change. It doesn't really affect anything too much. So you can pretty much just carry on that as normal. That is self-explanatory. And the only other thing is that if I've put in 4th fingers, then try and do the 4th fingers. I know the 4th fingers are really irritating. I know they're hard and they're a big stretch and everything. But honestly folks, if you can do the 4th fingers, it's going to save you so much trouble, because 1, you don't always want to be crossing over too many strings because it's difficult to do and you hit lots of other strings in between. Number 2, you don't always want the sound of a ringing open string in the middle of your song. And number 3, it's easier just to keep on the same string, and you just get a more consistent and a slightly better tone. So, you know, think of it as a kind of finger strengthening exercise as well. It's something that you should kind of get used to doing. So, you know, having said that, you don't have to do that. If you want to do the open strings, do the open strings. But if it says 4, then obviously the 4 is there for a reason. So if you try and do 4, you will get a much nicer tone. So that's about it with Auld Lang Syne. I hope this tutorial has helped. I'll put a link directly underneath this video to links to all of the tutorial videos that I've done in this book. So all 10 of them. Well, there'll be 9 links underneath this video, and a link to where you can get the book from as well, which is above my head or directly underneath. It's downloadable, 100% downloadable and printable, and it comes with backing tracks and loads of things. And yeah, so I hope this tutorial has been helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.